Hi, it's Castro72, aka Anthony, and I wanted to do a video about my video game collector's guides. Hi Mortal 7 had asked me a question as to where I get my rarity scale that I use in all my videos, and I just kind of wanted to address that. I use the Digital Press collector's guides. Um, this is the Digital Press Collector's Guide 7th edition, and this is the Digital Press Collector's Guide Advanced Edition. Um, they're really great books that have like all the rarities and like some brief descriptions and some pictures of the consoles. It's kind of like an encyclopedia. The red book is used for all 8-bit game systems and games, like the NES and the Atari 2600. And the blue book is all 16-bit systems, handhelds, all the way up to the Dreamcast. The neoclassical systems like the PS2 and the GameCube aren't in there yet. Those might be in the next edition. It's just they haven't retired the PS2 yet, and Dreamcast had already been retired, so it got in there. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the rarity scale, which is a scale from 0 to 10. And so let's just begin. Rarity 0, which is R0s. These games are simply games that were never released for system. They were just rumors. A great guy named Jillpoo3, you gotta check out his channel, I'll leave a link. He uploaded a game for the NES, just a ROM, called Chesterfield. It was announced for the NES, and I was curious about it, and so he did me a favor and posted some gameplay footage on it, and Chesterfield would be a great example of a Rarity 0. Now, Rarity 1. Now, those guys are common. When you go into a thrift store and you see a bunch of games, you're more than likely going to see a Rarity 1. Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt, great example of a Rarity 1. The most common game ever. It came with every single NES action set. Rarity 2, those are slightly less common, but you can find titles like these just about anywhere. Donkey Kong for the Game Boy would be an example of a Rarity 2. And some surprising titles also enter this Rarity 2 category. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for the Dreamcast is also a Rarity 2. But, they made a lot of these games, guys. They're out there. Just collectors don't want to give them up. So, it's a little harder to find. And due to popularity, the price is driven up a bit. Another kind of strange entry for a Rarity 2 is Earthbound. The cartridge, guys, is really common, actually. But, of course, a boxed complete set like mine with the strategy guide and the stickers and everything, it'll probably run it up a bit. It might be a Rarity 6 to find it in this condition where it's complete, and the price is probably going to go up. I really don't know how much Earthbound complete is right now, but I know it's probably pretty pricey. Rarity 3s. They're not as common on the street, but you can find these from like other collectors, and they're common on the internet, like through eBay. A game like that would be like Alex Kidd: The Lost Stars. This, was not as popular as Alex Kidd in Miracle World, the first game, and kind of got lost in the mix. I actually love this game, actually, Alex Kidd: The Lost Stars. When Alex dies, he just makes this agonizing scream like, "Ah!" and he flips off the screen. It's a great game. I should do a video, but I digress. Anyway, Rarity 4. Let's talk about Rarity 4. Things get a bit tougher here. Lower production runs or other factors make these games uncommon. Project Justice for the Dreamcast is an example of this. The game came out near the end of the Dreamcast life cycle. It was a sequel to Rival Schools on the PS1. It has great gameplay and fetches a pretty penny on eBay. Not many people know about it. Rarity 4. Another Rarity 4 entry would be Mercs on the Genesis. Arcade conversion, really good game. Probably came out a little late in the system's life, but really, really good game. Kind of like Commando. Rarity 5. Now this is where the hunt begins, guys. You really have to search for these, but they're still within reach. Hi Mortal 7, who I'll also leave a link to his channel. Great guy. Was playing this game on his Saturn. Now, I don't have the Saturn version, but I have the PS1 version. It's Street Fighter the movie, And on the Saturn, it's only a Rarity 2, but on the PS1, it's a Rarity 5. Um, now, I guess it would be a Rarity 5 on the PS1 because Sony at the time didn't really like 2D games. They kind of frowned upon it, so it probably had a lower production run. And the Saturn, Sega embraced 2D, so there might have been more of those. Another Rarity 5 would also be Tecmo Stackers for the PS1. No one's ever heard of this game. Great game, though. It's kind of a takeoff of Kirby's Avalanche or Puyo Puyo. Incredible game. I don't know. I'm going to have to do a video for that one, too. Rarity 6. These are very uncommon. Borderline rare, and you'll most likely have trouble finding these games. Late Arrow Taito games for the NES fall in this category, like Bubble Bobble 2. This one was pretty tough for me to find. And Little Samson. I also have two other entries that are Rarity 6s that just are really bittersweet for me. Order of the Griffin for the TurboGrafx 16 and Panzer Dragoon Saga. Now these games are sealed, so I can't play them, especially the Panzer game. I mean, these games will, with their monetary value, will probably take care of me in my old age. So these games will never be played. It's so bittersweet. I really do want to play them, but I can't because they're sealed. They're Rarity 6. Rarity 7. These are true collectibles. They are rare. Now, I found a Rarity 7. The Flintstones, The Surprise at Dinosaur's Peak. Now, I found this game at GameStop one time, and I was just like, oh my god, I almost had a knip shit when I saw it. I was like, I couldn't believe it was, this game. Now, this is one of the rarest NES games. Not the rarest, but one of the rarer ones to find on the NES. And they actually priced it according to the other Flintstones game, which is a Rarity 3. The Flintstones: The Rescue of Dino and Hoppy. And it was like $4.99. Both of these games cost the same. This one really should have costed more because of its rarity. Rarity 8. These are items you'll never find by chance except in those legendary luck finds. And I did find one at a retro video game store. It's called Fun and Games. It's for the SNES. And actually it only cost me $12.99 for a Rarity 8. I mean, this is super rare. I mean, they say the production numbers are like 2,000 or something. And again, this is a case where rarity does not always dictate price. Not a great game, actually. It's kind of a Mario Paint thing. Rarity 9. Now, this would be the centerpiece of your collection. These will always cost you big bucks. And the rarity will dictate price in the Rarity 9 category. Now, I have a game called World Class Track Meet. It's a Rarity 1. Very common. But before this was World Class Track Meet, there was a game produced by Bandai called Stadium Events. Now, Stadium Events was like to be used with their Family Fun Fitness set that you run on, the precursor to the Power Pad. Nintendo bought the technology, repackaged Stadium Events as World Class Track Meet. And if you have the original Stadium Events, because it just got a small little release and then was all recalled, you got a great game because that's worth like $200, and it's a Rarity 9. If you have not World Class Track Meet, Stadium Events, this is Rarity 1. Really easy to find. And then there are Rarity 10s. These would not only be the centerpiece to your collection, but they would be like one-of-a-kind things. It'd be like having a Mickey Mantle card. The Nintendo World Championships cartridge is an example of that. It was the game used in the World Championships in 1990. There are 116 cartridges that officially exist. 90 of them are gray and 26 of them are gold. I'll never find one. The gold cartridge at one time sold for $6,500. So that's a Rarity 10. Anyway, I hope that alleviates a couple of the questions you may have had about my rarity scale. And anyway, thanks for watching, and I just wanted to pass on the info. Hope you guys have a great time collecting. Thanks for watching.